All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And yeah, some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay in the background. And yes, I know some of you guys might be asking already, are we going to see a Moab? Yes, you will see a Moab. And you know what? The more time goes on, man, the more I miss the old classic Call of Duty games, especially like Modern Warfare 3. I find myself over the last over the last few years, and even more so recently, the more I think about it, Modern Warfare 3, I have a newfound appreciation for more than anything else. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 to me is like a more balanced Modern Warfare 2. Not as crazy, but still good, and still retains a lot of that Infinity Wardness that a lot of people actually liked. And fun fact, they actually made this game in 8 months. 8 months, a full-on campaign, a full-on Spec Ops, 16 maps on launch, and all the different game modes and additions and omissions that they decided to do with their vision of the game. Pretty damn impressive, if you ask me, especially when you compare it to what we get today from a group of developers that said to be 3,000 of them, and with 3 years. So I don't know, man. I call bullshit. Well, I don't know. I either call bullshit, like part of me is like, yep, I call bullshit, and then the other part of me is like, well, maybe a lot of these guys are so inexperienced that they need it all the time that they can get and all the resources they can get. But anyway, that's not what this commentary is about. I already kind of touched up on that in a commentary previously, but what I want to talk about today in this video specifically is I was really starting to wonder. I've done a lot of pre-recorded commentaries, some of them over 30 minutes long or whatnot. Let me know down in the comment section if you wouldn't mind listening to something like that, but in terms of in-depth conversation, let me know. And if you do, I'll definitely post. But the thing is, I've been having a lot of Call of Duty thoughts lately, and the big question that I have is where did all the sweats come from? Like, what is the reason, or the primary reason for the sweats? And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, obviously beyond just YouTube and stuff like that and content creation, I have to say, if you had to point the finger at a very specific Call of Duty that caused a lot of people, both casual and non-casual alike, to become like really sweaty, like if there was one Call of Duty game that influenced that type of culture, so to speak, over any other Call of Duty, I would probably have to say Black Ops 2 is the one to point the finger at. Because the vision for Black Ops 2 was basically like, pretty easy to understand that basically they wanted to make the esports scene big. They wanted Call of Duty to be taken seriously, and in that aspect, they certainly succeeded. But with that being said, a lot of that culture and a lot of that DNA was also kind of, it kind of spilled on to pubs as well. And this is why, again, I can go in depth. I mean, I've already done a pre-recording about this subject in its entirety. So if you want to listen to that conversation, let me know. But the thing is, long story short, this is also why you have a lot of people that absolutely loved and adored Black Ops 1 and will consider Black Ops 1 probably the best Call of Duty ever made. And I'll tell you why. But those same people simultaneously do not like Black Ops 2, or were deeply disappointed in Black Ops 2. Because from a casual standpoint, from a pub standpoint, Black Ops 1 is superior to Black Ops 2. And yes, you heard that correctly. Black Ops 1, from a casual pub standpoint, Black Ops 1 is superior to Black Ops 2. And like for me personally, I don't mind some of the different iterations that they've added into Black Ops 2, obviously. But when you look at it from that kind of a standpoint, to where it's like, what are Black Ops 1 strengths, and you really begin to dissect that game in terms of the things that it did right, especially for its time and everything else like that, the game was absolutely golden. Like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are two sides of the same coin, actually, with Black Ops 1 focusing more on pubs and the casual side of things, especially since they were, still coming up and still trying to prove themselves compared to Infinity Ward back then, the original Infinity Ward at least. And Black Ops 2 was the one that basically put competitive on the map, like more than anything else. And it just so happened that the pub side of things just happened to suffer a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that Black Ops 2 is not a good pub game. I'm not saying that at all. However, when you look at Team Deathmatch, for instance, which is the most populated game mode, most of the casuals will go to Team Deathmatch, right? Even some of us sweats will still exclusively play Team Deathmatch, right? Well, the philosophy behind what they had behind everything like that, and even with the map design to a certain degree, was simply um, to have it be strictly gun on gun. But the thing is, well, you can't really take your score streak or the kill streak system out of it because, quite frankly, that is one of the reasons why people play Call of Duty. They want to feel rewarded by going on streaks. And for the majority of the casual players, asking for 5 kills to get a UAV is just too much. And a lot of people were saying, you know, we want Team Deathmatch 125, but then they ended up giving us something that was 150, and then they took it away or whatnot. 150 was just too chaotic, man. 125? You know, 120 or 125 or something like that is a great sweet spot. And then on top of that, you have Hardline, which you can get an additional discount. So it's like, but you know, at the end of the day, Treyarch over the years has already pretty much said that they, you know, they want, like, and again, I'm paraphrasing here, they, like, through their data and stuff like that, they're like, yep, this is where we want people to be or whatnot. It's like, well, you can't really just look at the data, man. You got to look at the feedback from the fans as well. You can't just be so one-sided when it comes to collecting your information and everything like that, because there's just so many other factors. You know, this is one of the reasons why they have a beta. You know, they can have their internal data all they want, but they need to spread it out. So that's why they have a beta. And it's the same thing when it comes to taking information. You gotta, you know, you can't just look internally. You gotta look externally as well. Because when the fans say that there's a certain problem with the game or something needs to be fixed or something needs to be tuned or whatnot, well, there's a reason behind that. And it's got nothing to do with, oh, I like this better than what you made it or something like that. It's like, no, this legitimately needs to be done, you know? I mean, sure, are there fans that actually think that way? Absolutely. You know, they just argue for the sake of arguing, and you know how it is. But looking back at it, man, even with this game, Modern Warfare 3, man, Modern Warfare 3, you know, was, I mean, it made at the time more money than any other Call of Duty. I mean, granted, the games cost less back then. So in my eyes, to this day, still, Modern Warfare 3 is like the biggest moneymaker of all the Call of Duties ever released. And some people were disappointed with it, no doubt about it. And other people were not disappointed with it. For me, I was more happy than I was disappointed. And when this game came out, I was still a noob for at least another year and a half or whatnot. Like my KD in this game before I started getting better, and I you know, sometime after Black Ops 2, and then I came back and played this game, and then, you know, thankfully my my skills transferred onto this game. I could tell you that I still enjoyed the living hell out of Modern Warfare 3, despite the fact that I was a 0.7 KD player. So, you know, that's the thing. Back then, Call of Duty, it didn't matter how good or how bad you did because of the way they designed the game in order to try to appease everybody. You know, Black Ops 2, from a pub standpoint, went a little overboard, in my opinion. And I love that game. I consider it probably the best. I mean, there are times where I just kind of go back and forth between Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. And all due respect to the other Call of Duty games that have ever been made, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 will always be those two games that are going to be going back and forth in terms of which game really is the best overall. Really, you know, if anything, I owe it to Black Ops 1 more than anything, because Black Ops 1 was actually what turned my head towards Call of Duty. It got my attention. Modern Warfare 2 didn't get my attention as much. I appreciated it for the time I did play it and such, but it just, it didn't take me away. But Black Ops 1 certainly did, which caused me to gain interest in Call of Duty and to see the multiplayer reveal event for Modern Warfare 3 and to get hyped for it, which I was. And I played Modern Warfare 3 and I enjoyed it. I was at the midnight release. And fun fact, the origin of this gamer tag was on the Modern Warfare midnight release. My best friend gave me his extra 360, because I didn't have one because of the Red Rings of Death, and a controller, and got Xbox Live. We went and picked up both a copy of Modern Warfare 3, and then I came home, and then I was like trying to figure out what I wanted my gamer tag to be. I couldn't figure it out. So, and I was 27 at the time, and that's where the X7 came from. So there you go. So, yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I really miss it. But at the end of the day, I think that Black Ops 2, from a game standpoint, is a big reason why we have so many sweats today. A lot of people wanted to be MLG players. Simple as that. And it kind of just had the domino effect for every Call of Duty since. At least that's part of it. Obviously, the YouTube side of things and the streamers and stuff like that, I think, are another reason. And, you know, esports itself and stuff like that. But anyway, the conversation can go deeper. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the video. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.